Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to CreatorWorld. Please be seated.
Good afternoon.
Welcome back, Mikey.
Thank you.
I didn't get the memo about matching clothes, so I do apologize.
Yes.
Now, let's start
It's
with
art.
simple question. Who are you? And tell the audience about your channel or your presence, who you are.
Okay, I guess I'll start. So we'll go this way, right? Hi, I'm Amanda. I go by Ems for short. Amanda sings for long. I am a musician, singer-songwriter, and a beauty and lifestyle content creator under Titan Digital Media, that is a content creator house. So what they do at Titan Digital Media is basically represent us content creators and mentor and support us as well.
Brilliant.
Hi, I'm Frances. I'm Filipino. Of course, I had to say that. Every Filipino is proud to be Filipino. But there's another thing that Filipinos are proud of, and that's their home. You know, you are a Filipino, your parents are proud of you. If you graduate, you get married, and you have your own home. And so this pandemic, everyone was stuck at home. I created this Facebook community called Home Buddies. And now it has turned into like an online community of home enthusiasts with over 3 million members. And they call me the Mayora. So I'm like a politician now without the official, the election. But they call me the Mayora because now I have an online barangay, or like a community where people can ask, what aircon do I buy? What sofa do I buy? I have a 38 square meter space. How do I decorate it? And so that's the kind of content I've done. And I'm proud to say that I'm a pandemic baby, a pandemic creator. So I just started 2020. And from 2020 to 2022 with over 3 million, I'm just trying to learn as I go. So to be here is like amazing. Thank you.
So Frances, you did say parents say graduate, get married, own home, set up a YouTube channel. That's
Yeah.
the fourth thing now, right?
That's where
Then
the
they're
kids
proud.
now. You give them a camera, and then the kids are just like, you're intending to take a photo, but the kids are just like, hey, like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. So it's like automatic.
Now this is because you're sitting next to one of the OG, one of the OG YouTubers from the Philippines. Mikey, for again, people who've landed from Mars, who don't know who you are.
I look like I've landed from Mars, actually.
Maybe. Who are you? I mean, you've got a very interesting story. So let's
My name is Mikey Bustos. I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, but I moved to Philippines in 2011. I was originally a singer and songwriter in Canada, but then I uploaded a YouTube video to try to promote my music. But instead, I went viral on YouTube as a comedian. So I started doing Filipino comedy skits. Ended up somehow in the Philippines, doing movies, television shows, the whole show business bit. And while in the Philippines, my other channel, which is called Ants Canada, which is about keeping ants in ant colonies and ant farms, and I just narrate their real life stories. So it doesn't have my face, it's just the ants. That blew up, and it became my biggest channel. So I currently have two really large, the larger channels. I also started a vlogging channel, which is at a couple 100,000 subscribers, about lifestyle. So just traveling. My partner and I have built a sustainable farm out in the Philippines, in the countryside. So it chases our life living with our goats and our chickens. Yeah.
And ants.
Oh yes, and I also run a brand, Ants Canada, where we manufacture ant farms for the ant keeping hobby. So ant keeping equipment, little tweezers, the whole bit. We sell books on how to keep ant colonies and test tubes and all that kind of fun stuff.
True story. I got home the other night having had a chat with Mikey about his ant colony, and there were 4 massive ants in my kitchen. I normally would have stamped on them, but now I was like,
Did
hey,
you?
how you doing?
Good.
All right. I've got a video. Actually, I've got a video to show you. He's the Ant-Man.
It's funny how he creates content on how to keep the ant colony like alive and being there. But in my community, because we're home improvement, everybody hates ants. So what I learned, if there's a takeaway that's not content creation, is that to kill ants, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Get a
There's
bottle
lots of
of
them.
water, put sugar in it, and put borax. And then just leave it a little open.
The Ant-Man
And
So-
so the thing
is
is,
going to faint.
I'm so sorry. The ants.
It's okay, I'm just kidding.
The ants will not die right away. They will drink it. They will go out. They will go to their home, and then that's where they will die because people will eat them. Like the ants will eat each other. And then they
Actually,
will all
there's this chalk. It's called diatomaceous chalk. It's made of fossilized marine life, and you just draw it, and the ants cross over it, and they get all these cuts, and they die of dehydration, and it's completely eco-friendly.
So,
Look for it.
Amanda, shall we just leave?
Let's just let them have the
We
debate
should
on the
collab on
ants,
that
right?
video.
I think we need to get the UFC people in here now and just build a
Fight.
cage and off we go. So this session has been sponsored by and anyway. Okay, this has taken a little bit of a left turn from where I thought the session
Sorry
was going
about
to go. What I need is a lawyer. Okay, so we're talking about brands, not about how to kill ants. Amanda, back to you. You work with brands. What kind of brands do you work with?
So I guess in a way I do work with a wide range of brands. Majority of them being skincare and beauty brands, because I'm a skincare beauty content creator. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. But on top of that, I've had like a really, really big privilege to work with the government as well in Singapore, especially this year. So I think those are one of like my bigger campaigns that I work with, and I think it's always very fun to work with the government as well as beauty brands, because I think they're all in the mindset of this creator economy that we're now having, right? The importance of having creators. So they do have that understanding, and I think Alex was mentioning just now that sometimes brands don't really understand how to work with creators. And working with big beauty brands as well as the government really helps, because they do have the understanding, they do the research, and it's a lot smoother in terms of the partnership and delivering the final product. Yeah.
I mean, as an aside, and because this session does seem to be going left and right, we had the chief executive of the IMDA on stage yesterday, but backstage, I said to him that I don't think there's any other country in the world where the government is so supportive of the creator economy and the arts economy and the music economy and stuff. But it is fantastic, and we are, this event is part of the Singapore Media Festival thanks to the IMDA, and so that's my little shameless plug to say thank you to the IMDA as well.
Yeah. And I think, like, to add on to what Francis said just now, like, yeah, your parents want you to study, graduate, get married, and start a YouTube channel, because they also understand that the Singapore government or the local government is actually very supportive of creators at this point of time. So even when I used to tell my parents or like my family, yeah, I'm working in a YouTube company, all right, they're like, can make money one, and I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going to try. So I think like years later, like I am who I am now, and it's really because there has been a really big shift over even like just the past 4 years. I think COVID made a very, very big impact on this entire digital age, and everybody just had to learn to go digital. And the best marketers for digital content is, of course, your digital content creators.
Yep.
And I think that's why a lot of brands started to be very open to working with more creators and giving them a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more understanding when it comes to collaborations.
I mean, it's a whole different session to talk about how families in this part of the world, I mean, I know Asia's a silly name, but how they do allow their kids to become creators, because in a lot of countries they want them to be lawyers and accountants and doctors, and then you go and say, well, I want to run an ant farm, Mum, But anyway, so that's a whole different subject, and we do talk about it at other events. So Francis, brands, let's not talk about killing ants now.
Yeah, no more ants, but I did talk about, Filipinos being proud of their homes, and it's like a measure of success. And so everything, when Filipinos earn their money, it always comes back to the home. So they really buy and invest and, make it comfortable before everything else, before travel, before, all the watches and the shoes. It has to be things for the home. And so for brands, there's so many brands that we work with, from furniture, appliance, utilities like internet, connection, Wi-Fi. And with the Wi-Fi, you would have those other gadgets like your mesh router, your smart gadgets. And then that's when you realize there are so much more in your home because pantry stuff are also home. So food, even skincare is also home because like there was a time that people are stressed at home and they're getting acne. So it's interesting how the home space is actually not the biggest when it comes to creators. There's not so much with home content creators. There's so much in music and fashion and beauty. But in the home, it's where it's so lucrative that even I work with e-com brands like Lazada, Shopee, Zalora, even things that you wouldn't think are connected to home, but then they tap us because most of the homemakers are moms or women. So they would tap us for baby stuff, and then pet stuff. And then we also have banks because if you want to own a home, you need to get your savings, your home loan. So there's like, if you think about it, you can't limit yourself because ultimately, like what Jeremiah said about the intent or the purpose, what is the intent of improving your home? And it's all about, you improve your home so that you improve your relationship with your family. You improve your home so that when you go to work, you're not grumpy. So it's all about, making it comfortable. And that's what I tell brands, that if you want to come into my community, what's in it for my community to make their lives better? And when they realize that, or when we, as the moderators or the owner of the community, there's so much more brands that we can tap. So, yeah, so when it comes to brands, there's a lot.
So you work with a lot of brands?
Yes, so much.
Mikey, I know we were talking about this yesterday, but...
Yep, I've worked with many brands for the 13 years that I've been doing this. It just all across the board, from food. For example, I'm the ambassador I'm a Jollibee endorser.
Ooh, Jollibee!
You guys, have you tried Jollibee? It's like
it's lunchtime.
It's
There's one in Bugis.
It's like a
There's
fast
one
food
down
chain
the road, guys. I'm
from
just gonna
Philippines.
let you know.
My first endorsement was in 2011 for Samsung. Airlines, food, snack brands. What else? Oh, I'm the face of diarrhea medicine in the Philippines. I appear in several commercials, and my favorite tie-ins with brands is when we get to do all kinds of platforms, including television, so linear. We'll do television commercials, but we'll also shoot internet commercials and that kind of thing. Those really excite me. And then when their brands appear in my videos on their channels, those are my favorite. And those are the ones we usually choose to go with.
Fantastic. So let's jump straight to the heart of this. And I'm going to come down. So if you've got any questions, I'm going to walk down while you're talking. What advice, Amanda, would you give to a new creator, a young creator, of how to work with a brand? And keep talking. I'm just going to walk downstairs.
Okay. So if you are an upcoming creator, you want to be a creator, and you want to work with brands, I think number one is to stay true to yourself, because we've had this conversation about authenticity on the internet and how important it is, and it truly is, because you want people to know you for you, and brands only resonate better if it's true to who you are. So you want to see how the brand applies to your life and things like that. And it runs down all the way to like the metadata, the captions, your description boxes, across all platforms as well. The language that you speak has to be you. It can't be off the brand. So there are a lot of times where I work with brands where, I type out a caption or a description box and they want it switched. And I was like, no, I'm going to stick to what I have, and I'm going to fight for that, because that is my language and that is what my subscribers or followers know me for. That's how they know I speak. That's how I speak to them. So if it's a different language, or even if it's in English, it's just like the lingo is just different. Like, they can tell and they will call you out for that, and you don't want that to happen, because then that reflects on you as well. Yeah. So.
Okay, let's see. Do we have any questions for our wonderful panel? Now's your chance. Come on, Singapore. Come on, India. Questions? We have a question.
Would you have take on whether or not we have to do like videos with our faces, or are there alternatives if we want to become a digital creator?
I think at this day and age, you know how they're like, I'm sure you would know, right? Mikey, because you have like Ants Canada where you just narrate about ants, right? It's faceless. There's a lot of faceless content on the internet nowadays. And a lot of this actually started from, I believe, like children's content where they will unbox toys or like, mini cook, where they, just tiny little foods that you just love watching, but they don't make any sense because you can't eat them because they're so small, but you just watch them because they're so cute and tiny. Those are faceless content, and it's 100% doable because if that is your branding, then that is who you are. A brand does not necessarily have to be a face. Like, I am a brand because I'm Amander Sings. This is my brand. But if your brand is like, I don't know, like I can't think of a name on the spot. But if your branding is just unboxing with your hands, just music, just crazy effects of unboxing, then that's your brand, and that's the brand that you are trying to sell and collaborate with other brands.
Yeah, I agree with that. So when you create, I guess the thing that you want to put your face on is like association, right? So if you are removing the face, then you have to create content that's still recognizable, even if it's, say, an unboxing, but it has to, say, have the same background all the time, or you have to say a few words that you repeat all the time, so that they create association, that when they see, oh, it's not just unboxing, it's Mikey's unboxing. Right? So you still have to have a handle or something that ties all your videos together, so that even without your face, it's still recognizably you.
Yeah, actually, I having a channel that's almost 10 years old or over 10 years old, I can say that the Ants Canada channel is probably the most successful of my channels because it's faceless. Because if you think about it, audiences grow older and you grow older, and it shows on camera, and kids are probably more, or young teens are probably more inclined to relate to people who look like their age, as opposed to someone who's over 40 like myself. So having a faceless channel, I think, is a great idea if that's something you would like to do.
I want to add, if you look on Instagram, I have 2 accounts. One is my personal, like me as a person, and there's another that's my home account. It's so funny that my home account, called No Be Home, has more followers than my personal account. So people know me when they see me. They don't know me sometimes, like they pass by me. But then when I introduce myself, that, oh, I'm the person behind No Be Home, and they would realize that, oh, No Be Home is like the house that I've been following. So you can create those associations, even if you're introverted or shy, camera shy.
Okay, I think it just opens your door to a bigger audience.
We have a question. We have a chai walla in the house, all the way from India. Please, it's an interesting story. Just introduce yourself quickly and then ask your question.
So we have come from YouTube, a longer videos, then we come to, Facebook for 3 minutes of video, 4 minutes of video. We came across, TikTok, which is a recent phenomena. So these were the ideal platform made by the companies or corporates, right? So as an individual creator, how do you think, if you want to make your own platform today or tomorrow, how should it look like? What are the difference you want to see in that? Because it has been done from the corporate world, from the people those want to make money, and creators are after that. So what if I give you a job to make your own platform? How does it look like? Tell me something different from the all platforms which you have today.
This gentleman has his own. I'm not being cheeky. He has a chai walla brand with 200 stores in India, right? Okay. I wasn't being cheeky and racist.
That's a really difficult question. Yeah, what are the features that you would like to have?
If I were to create a platform, which is a great idea, actually, a light bulb went out of my head. I would make there be multiple ways to interact with the audience. Recently, YouTube, for example, removed a certain function that my channel totally related on it. It was, the info cards that pop up on the sides?
Yes.
And originally, when it first came out, we could vote. So I would have my audience name my ant colonies, so that would be you could vote for the name of this ant colony, and I'd have 5 names given that I chose from my audience, the AC family, I call them, and everyone would vote. Thousands of people would vote for the name of the colony, and in the next video, they would officially get their official name, their official flag, and they felt so involved in the content, and that drove the biggest I guess, rise of that channel, and then they removed it. And I'm like, why did you do that? They removed it because not many creators were using it as a, as it was as an available tool to them. But I found just having that kind of like interaction with the audience made such a difference. And if there could be a platform that could bring voting into the content back, I would totally open an Ants Canada channel on that platform.
Fantastic. Now, we are pretty much out of time. Do we have a comment at the back? No. Okay. So, I could, as ever, I could talk to you guys forever, but it's going to take me ages to get back up on stage as well. So, it's lunchtime now. Back at 2 o'clock, we've got lots and lots of content for the afternoon, all the way through to the end of the day. But thank you for joining us this morning. And thank you, Amanda, Francis, and Mikey.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.